everyone, thanks so much for joining me. In this video, we're going to cover chest flies, a fantastic exercise to strengthen the chest. The tricky part of this is to get heavy enough weights that you feel secure lifting, but that can get beyond the strength of your arms, because as long as your arms can do something, it's very difficult to recruit the muscles that are beyond it. It's hard to recruit the chest and the back if the arms can do the work. So I really always work with students, and I'm supporting them in that case, to feel comfortable enough with heavy enough weights that we can get beyond the arms to the chest. Once we do, then you have a lot more room as far as what amount of weight you want to use, but we've got to find the right muscles. So I'm going to be showing this on the back, on a bench, as well as on the foam roller. You don't need any of that equipment, but the foam roller is a great tool that helps find and stay connected to the most lengthened spine, most open channels. So we'll get started. Just one more thing about chest flies that I forgot to mention when recording the video. Throughout the exercise, you want to keep your arms, your hands, the weights in line with your chest. So they're going to want to wander, especially as you fatigue. You don't want them to wander up toward your, in line with your face or down. You really want to keep it in line with the chest. So I have my weight set to 15 pounds. That might be heavier than you want to start with or too light. So usually I'll have a student start, if they're really concerned, then we start with 8s. And then I have my 10s, 12s, 15s nearby, because often it's kind of amazing, but it's so consistent that most of us have a really hard time finding the chest, okay, or finding things beyond the arms. So I've got my weights with me, okay, scooching toward the front edge so I can have the weights as I go down, and my feet have an opportunity to get on the bench. Okay, so I wouldn't want to have the heavier these go, you don't want to have them on the floor and then pick them up once you're already laying down. Okay, so laying down here, and then I take them up. So this whole time my elbows are going to have a slight bend. Okay, but the first thing I want to do is plug in. Okay, maybe shift a little bit. Knees are bent. I imagine I have a block between my thighs. I'm looking for neutral pelvis. Okay, so slight bend in the elbows, and then I go out a little bit. Okay, inhale, and then on my exhale, I feel like I'm squeezing, okay, a ball between my arm and sides. Okay, so each arm and side to recruit the sides to make sure that I'm in that nice lengthened, supported spine. The other thing is, if you tend to tense around your neck, tuck the chin. Okay, this would be valid for everybody, but slight tuck to the chin. Inhale, and on the exhale, as we're recruiting the sides here, you can press the back of your head into the bench. Okay, and as long as you're also recruiting the sides, tension will leave your neck. Okay, so now breathing, slowly taking the weights out to the side. So then I hold here until I feel like I'm getting beyond my arms into my chest muscles. Then I start to move. Okay, so I'll go little. Okay, I might take turns. Okay, or focus on one side. So one is in an isometric hold, the other one is moving. The bigger range of motion you go, so around here, maybe a third of the way out, there's an absence of work, okay? Or it's just a lot less than the other 2/3. So I would stay in the work zone, because then you're more motivated, okay, to maintain the organization. I always tell my students, sternum lifted, heart lifting toward the chin, keeping the spine lengthened. And then when you're done, bringing the weights back up to the center, okay, and coming up. It's the entrances and the exits that you want to be really mindful of. Feel as safe as you possibly can. So if my way wasn't great, then really choose your right way. The thing that I would really encourage you, though, is to be really mindful of how you're going to pick up those weights and set them down, because you really don't want things far away. When we take the weights down, when we're laying down, we're going to disconnect here at the shoulder joints, and then we disconnect from our power. So don't do that. Okay, next is on the foam roller. Okay, so foam roller, a fabulous tool to give you a lot of reference as far as your spine organization. For this one, I will have the weights on the floor, but I'm going to have my elbows on the ground as I lift the weights up. Okay, so I want to make sure that I get head to tailbone on the foam roller. Okay, I love the foam roller. All right, so trying to make sure that I'm able to hug those shoulder blades around the foam roller, that I can feel the difference. So this would be too much arch, right? Too little. Okay, that this is not a neutral spine. It absolutely collapses the chest, and I don't want that. So I need to have a neutral pelvis so I can actively lift my sternum up toward my chin, okay, and maintain spacious yet supported shoulder joints. Okay, so I'm going to take each weight. So it's like this, and elbows are down, so I can take the weights like this. And now I feel very stable, okay, and I'm going to be able to shoot those weights up. Okay, again, head of the arm bones in. Much easier though on the foam roller than on the bench or on the ground. Lengthen spine, okay, everything's active. Taking the weights out to the sides. Reaffirm engagement of the sides, that the shoulder feels good, okay, each side, the neck feels good. Then carefully taking the weights out, again making sure that you're staying in the chest or finding the chest, and then little, okay. For me, okay, I find this more satisfying and more challenging on the foam roller probably than anywhere else. Okay, so you could go, again, that small range. Okay, you could take turns. Alternating is like really, really hard. Okay, and then when you're done bringing the weights up, okay, because this is your most supported position. Okay, and then carefully lowering the weights. Okay, so I want to make sure, right, that the legs, that I'm powered up all the way. And then once you're free of weights, then you can decide how are you going to exit the position. I tend to just come up. So that is chest flies. All right, I hope that you find this helpful and informative, and I would love to hear from you. Have a fabulous day. Namaste.